So I have myself set up here on my drawing board, all set to do translate my dimensioned drawing up there into a scale drawing here. I have, as you can see, a couple of pencils, and I dropped my architect scale, so I'm going to drop over here just a second and pick it up off the floor. There we go. And grab my pencil here. You can use either the lead pencil or a regular, just a regular pencil will do at this point. So, looking at the drawing here, the sketch that I did of the room to get my dimensions, I can see that this wall here is 18'6", and this wall here is 12 foot. So those are the first two walls that I'm going to establish. I'll draw this one over here and this one over here, and then I'll erase the line through it for the dormer. I'll erase the line here for these front doors, and I'll erase this here for this door and this door here as well. So I'm going to move this up here, tape it down so that it's kind of out of my way. And I'm going to make sure that I've got my ruler positioned so that I've got the 1/4 inch foot side positioned. And there it is right there. You can see 1/8 inch at one end and 1/4 inch at the other. So first of all, I need to establish a wall, or a line rather, that's 18 foot 6 inches long. So if this is 0 and this is 18, I can start right here at the 18 foot mark, make a mark there. If this is 0, then that to the middle of this mark here is 6 inches. So that line now, from that point to that point, if I draw a line there, that will be 18'6". So move my straight edge up. You can be doing this with your T-square and draw a line across like so. Now I have a line drawn that corresponds to the 18'6" line. Now I'm going to grab my architect scale again, and I'm going to draw a line on this side at 12 foot, correspond to the sketch. If this is 12 and that's 0, then that's 12 at that mark right there. So then I can draw a line down here. That corresponds to the north wall. Now if I go ahead and draw a line down from this point and draw a line across from this point, I now have a rectangle that is 12 by 18'6", which corresponds to the outside dimensions of my room minus the dormer. In order to put the dormer in, I'm going to have to locate 4 inches over from the interior wall to the exterior wall, inside wall of the dormer. So I'm going to put that back up there, move my architect scale back into position, and go from here, which is 4 feet, down to right there. So that'll be the line that corresponds to the inside wall of the dormer. And I know that the dormer itself is 3 feet wide, so between 4 and 2 is 3. If I hold that down, I put that right there. And I know that the dormer itself is 2'6". I'm going to turn this around so that I have it in the light, not the shade or shadow of the lights, so that you can see 2'6" right there. Alright, so now set my architect scale aside there for a second, draw a line there, and a line there, and a line here. That now is the dormer, the port that sticks out of my room at the window. So I'm going to take my eraser from this pencil, erase this line, and now I have to find out where this door and these doors are located. I can see that that door is 6 feet over from this wall, and these doors are 6'6" over from this wall. So, using my architect scale again, positioning this at 0 and going to 6, I know that the door itself is 28 inches wide, but what is that in scale? Well, that is 2 foot or 24, right, plus 4 more inches, which would be just past 3 right there. So that's the equivalent of a 28-inch door. Now I'm going to do the dimension down here, 6'6", to these doors, which I know are 6 feet wide. There's 2 of them. So I'm going to position this at 6 inches. Come out here 6 feet, right there. Now I'm going to draw a line at 6 feet. So this then represents the 2 front doors. This represents the door going into the den. So I can erase this line because there is a hole in that wall where the door is. The only other door that I need to position in the room is this one at 1 foot 6 inches out from that wall, and that's a 2 foot access door into the attic. So if I use my architect scale again, I position that out 1 foot 6 from that wall. It's a 2 foot door right there. So I can now erase that. Now traditionally most walls are about 4.5 to 5 inches wide. So I'm going to draw it under just a little under 5. Make a line there. And a little under 5 inches here. A little under 5 inches on this outside. And a little bit under 5 inches here. Then if I go ahead and draw lines all the way around this, like so, I will then have the wall thicknesses drawn in, and if I complete these lines through and make the erasure for where the door is, and again erasure for where the door is, make this eraser here. And of course I'd have to do, corresponding lines around here. I'm just going to kind of guess real quick about where that is. Architect scale tends to fall down the board because the board is at an angle. And that wants to fall down too. So then I'll put a line in here that corresponds to where those doors are located. And generally what you do to indicate where a door swing is just position a line at about a 45-degree angle, like so. Again, same thing here, showing you that there are doors located there. And if you want to get real fancy, you can use a compass with the point positioned here and just give yourself some tick lines indicating the door swings, like so. Now when you're all done, just go ahead and darken these lines in, shade them in. And you can do that with a lead pencil if you want to. Now, these walls, of course, continue on into the den this side, so that would show a continuation of this room. So this is the den, and this is the bedroom, or bedroom studio, if you want to be technical, /studio, like so. So then, in order to complete the drawing, what you need to do is to put the dimensioning in like these. So for instance, for this overall dimension of the room, you might do lines out like this and do a line across, end it at the middle someplace, and then using your 45-degree, do lines across it like that. Give yourself a couple of location lines and then say, okay, I want you to know, whoever is looking at this drawing, that this is 8 foot, 18 foot, 16 or 6 inches rather. And you do that kind of all the way around for all of the exterior dimensions of the wall. On the interior, you would do things like locate a line here. You're measuring off this wall. So what you could do in that case is do a line across with a blank or a gap in the middle. And again, you're doing a dimension off this wall. And you could do a nice little arrow here and say, okay, this wall is 6 foot 0 inches. So that's what you do. You just want to go around the room and make sure that you've got all of your measurements showing. I'll stop this, and then when I'm done I'll explain where I put all of the dimensioning, and so you can see that I did it. It will look roughly like this when we're done. And that's what I want you to do for your scale drawing of your room. I want you to do this first, show me that, you know, get a good scan of it and send it in, and then do this, get a good scan of it and send it in. I just want to be able to know that you know how to do a scale drawing, because it will be important for the second half of this. Okay? See you in a few minutes. So here I've gone ahead and cleaned it up. I used a black fine line marker to shade in the walls. Of course, I forgot to do these here, and this one here for the dormer. And I used a different color ink to put in the dimensioning, and you know, gave myself some lines and things to dimension, to you know, line things up and make things a little neater. You'll notice that I didn't do anything by way of dimensioning things all the way around. Like, we know that this wall is 12 feet. There's no reason to measure it again on this side at 12 feet. What's important over here is the length of this wall from here to here, and the length of the dormer from there to there. We do things such as, we call this letting this come, because we know that if we take a 12-foot wall and we subtract 4 and 3, you know, that's 7, that leaves, this has got to be 5, right? Okay, so same thing on the front. This is 18'6" across. If this line is 6'6" and this is 6, then that leaves 6. So you can do that because this dimension on this side of the door is different from this side of the door. Again, here, it's 6 feet out from this wall to the door. The door itself is 2 foot 4 inches, and you can see that I've positioned it on this side of the wall so as not to confuse it with the dimensioning that's here. Everything gets kind of crowded in. I put the dimension for this wall here up here, again, so that I don't have crowding too much stuff in here. And this one over here is drawn in over here, so that we're not getting things too crowded into this corner. Again, if it's 6 foot to the edge of this door, and this door is 2 foot 4, then we just let this wall come. What we can do is we can say, okay, there's no reason to dimension that wall all the way from here to here, because we can take 18'6" and subtract 6 and 2 foot 4 from it, and we'll realize how much is left of that wall. So this is kind of what I want you to do. I want you to do me a scale drawing of your room, or a room in your house, at a plan view of 1/4 inch equals 1 foot 0 inches, based off of the sketch, the rough sketch that you did before. So that's basically what I want you to do. I hope that this video, being viewed over my head, is beneficial and explains to you kind of what I want you to do. I'm going to do another demonstration here in a few minutes, showing you basically, okay, well, what if somebody gave me the job of doing a mural on a large wall? How would I, first of all, draw that wall and then begin to sketch the stuff into it so that I know that it's proportional to the wall? So we'll look at that one next. All right, all for now. I'll see you guys in the next video.